At the Polis Project, we are concerned about the ways in which the state perpetuates violence with impunity. In response to this concern, we set up Watch the State in December 2019 during the Anti-Citizenship Amendment Act protests in India. With the work we do at Watch the State, we hold the state and the people in power accountable by creating a repository of state violence and maintaining public and institutional memory. As part of this project, we've been tracking the wave of extremism and hate violence in the Indian state of Uttrakhand that has been growing since 2017 and particularly since early 2023. Closely observing what's happening in the state can tell us a lot and show us the clear patterns of violence. Since 2017, hate speech and violence has occurred in waves in Uttarakhand. Across each wave, a small number of individuals and groups were primarily responsible. For instance, from late 2021 to 2023, 5 people, Darshan Bharti, Rakesh Tomar, Anand Swaroop, Prabonand Giri and Radha Senwal Dhoni were involved in the vast majority of hate speeches and violent incidents in Gharwal. In 2024, Lakpat Bandhari and Vikas Verma joined their number. Now, these individuals and the outfits they head tour the state looking for incidents they can exploit to portray a narrative of Muslims attacking Hindus. Despite being involved in dozens of hate speech incidents and violent crimes, most of these people have never been detained, and those who have been haven't been held for more than a few hours. A Muslim will be accused of something, most often of having a relationship with or harassing a Hindu woman. Then 3 things will happen. These individuals will assemble, carry out a protest rally with the support of the BJP, the Bajrang Dal and the Vishwa Hindu Parishad, at which hate speeches will be made and then try to attack Muslim-owned shops and call for them to be expelled. Despite this violence occurring in front of them, the police either will not intervene or will only intervene to stop some immediate violence. Then the police will arrest the Muslim person accused of the crime under severe legal provisions, which usually means they have to stay imprisoned for weeks or months at least. Often the person will eventually be acquitted, as in the infamous Purola case of 2023. In most cases, however, no case at all will be registered against those who engaged in the violence or hate speech, or a case will be registered against unknown persons. Irrespective of what case is registered against these people, no arrest will be made. In all these incidents, only one incident has seen formal arrest so far, the infamous 2021 Haridwar Dharm Sansad, which triggered international uproar, and even then, arrests were made only after 3 weeks, and subsequently, all the accused were released on bail. Political leaders, particularly the Chief Minister, will make speeches following such an incident, claiming that the state will not tolerate love jihad, land jihad, thuk jihad, vyapar jihad, mazhar jihad, or demographic change. Unsurprisingly, none of these claimed conspiracies has ever been established with any evidence. This creates the atmosphere for further biased administrative action or violence. The selective nature of these claims is illustrated by the situation in September when multiple BJP leaders were accused of rape, and the police went slow on their cases despite massive popular protests. The CM remained silent until a Muslim youth in another part of the state was accused of harassment, whereupon he immediately issued a statement that the daughters of the state will be protected from outside forces. The media coverage of all of this also has a distinct form. The Hindi mainstream media will typically report each incident in isolation, stating that such and such a Muslim person was accused of a crime, due to which there was an uproar and angry locals or angry people, or more rarely Hindu-Wadi organizations called a band or protested. The English press, on the other hand, will report that violence took place following an incident. In both cases, the reporting of violence will typically be in passive voice. Shops were broken or people were beaten, and the overall pattern will not be mentioned. Eventual acquittals of the Muslim accused or evidence of fake news campaigns are never reported. So in short, three actors: these hatred entrepreneurs, ministers and BJP leaders, and the police work together in a coordinated fashion, which is then presented in a misleading manner by the media to appear to be some kind of popular sentiment. In time, of course, if such a narrative goes unchallenged, more and more of those who are criminals and opportunists or generally on the fence will join the violent groups in the hope of gain, and the result is that eventually the narrative becomes self-fulfilling. This is why it's important to note that there is opposition, there is resistance from within the state, and also to note very carefully how these people work. The fact is that without the systematic connivance of the state machinery, none of this would be possible. What's worrying is that Uttarakhand is just one of many examples of these laboratories of mass violence that are not just all over the country but all over the world. What we call laboratories of mass violence are often testing grounds, places where states trial methods of ethnic cleansing and mass oppression before applying them on a broader scale. For instance, the German Holocaust didn't begin in Germany. Its tactics were first developed and practiced in Namibia. Similarly, many of the violent tactics later used in Ireland by the British were initially tested in colonies. These laboratories are small, contained locations where states push the boundaries of impunity, seeing how much violence can be inflicted without triggering significant resistance. A laboratory isn't just a place for innovation, it's defined by testing the limits of unchecked violence and seeing how far authorities can go before there's any meaningful pushback. Lessons learned here about thresholds of impunity and overcoming local resistance are then reapplied elsewhere. In Uttarakhand, we're seeing this dynamic play out. What's happening there is specific to its local history and social memory, meaning the same tactics may not translate directly to Tamil Nadu or Kerala, but what's being tested is the threshold of impunity. How long will people remain silent? How much will the law accommodate? And how will civil society respond? Through Watch the State, we aim to address some of these questions. To know more about our work, do visit our website, and if you like the work we do consider supporting us.